if you want to share this link, anybody, and just share those folks that are on the other stream. Once it goes down on Facebook, you guys on YouTube, you'll still be there, but once it goes down on Facebook, you have to restart the link again. So hopefully that will pop back up again. And if you guys could all share that, that would be really good. Anyway, I'm going to continue on where I was. And what I was saying last week was that the world was getting better, not worse. And God's still in the business of doing his best work when things are bad. And it goes on to say this, that the gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony of all nations, and then the end will come. Did you know that we are living in the greatest revival in the history of Christendom? More people have got saved in the last 40 years than all the previous years put together. And there's a generation that is living right now during a worldwide revival. It's happening in 158 countries around the world, where more people are getting saved and becoming Christians than they are being born, all but for 20 around the world. The UK is one of those 20. And God is continuing to pour out his Spirit, and he continues to do that today. And last week we talked about two dynamics. There's a danger when we get to the end times, and it's really simple. The first one is this, is that we have a danger that Christians begin to fall away. And I encouraged you last week to hang on. And too many Christians have given their life to the Lord. They know the Lord, but they're no longer walking with the Lord. They've got burnt by church or been hurt and full of pain. And the second one is that we've an opportunity like never before to see non-Christians get saved. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit today. And there's a challenge in this one. There's a challenge for all of us. Over the last lot of years that we've been very good about creating services. We've been very good about making it about us, when actually the church was never meant to be just about us. Now, what do I mean when I say that? Well, the church is meant to equip the saints for acts of service. And it's been great to invite your friends to church, and we've been really good at putting on great services that have been the best thing since sliced bread. And we've created an invite culture, but unfortunately that's created a downside in that we've created an inability within us. We've lost the fine-tuning for us to share our faith. And we've put more into a church service than we have actually in about reaching our community and a lost world with the kingdom of God. And a while back, I gave you a statistic that in the UK, a survey said that 53% of people currently living in the UK said, when interviewed, that they would never attend a church service. And I have a question for you. How are we going to reach this group of people who are never coming to church? How are you going to reach that group of people? And it got me thinking, if we cannot reach them by bringing them in the room that we're in, then we're going to have to figure out how we get to reach them outside of the room. How do we leave the room? Now, that hasn't been so easy for us to do over the last wee while, because when we think about evangelists, we think about their job, and it's their job to be given out the good news. Unfortunately, we've got this stereotypical image of an evangelist, and we have that in our minds. And the problem is, it isn't really what an evangelist is. When you think about an evangelist, you think about someone in Corn Market, maybe, or someone in the middle of a shopping precinct who is screaming and shouting about hell. And the problem is, that's our idea, that we've had this idea of what an evangelist is. And I wonder sometimes if the way of preaching the gospel has actually created more downsides for the church in the way that some people have presented that, and that we now have too many negative experiences of what evangelism is, and then that results in us shying away, and we become uncomfortable because we don't want to be like them. And what happens is we've gotten really sloppy at sharing our faith. We actually get anxiety about speaking to other people about Jesus. And the question that I have for you today is, why? Why have we got this good news? Are we not shouting it from the rooftops? Why do you think we struggle to share the good news? Well, today, I hope and pray that what I want to share with you will really help make this a little bit more simple and a little bit more comfortable, because I'm telling you, it's absolutely necessary right now. So here's what I'm going to do today. I hope and pray that I can commission you to grab hold of the love of Jesus